Hello and welcome or welcome back. I'm the Tilted Crown Gourmet coming to you from Wat Krong Kun. And this is a special episode because as we know, spring has sprung and also Gay Pride months are coming. So there is no better time to make a rainbow cake. So let's get some prep done and let's get baking. Hello everyone, the Tilted Crown Gourmet here. Let's start our rainbow cake. First, we're going to be adding our vanilla to our milk. Then, to our 6 bowls, we're going to be adding 1.5 tablespoons to each of the bowls. Once we've divided our milk, it's time to color it. Take out your colored gel and add 1 color to each of the bowls. You're going to be utilizing about a baked bean size of gel. You want your colors to be intense. Make sure you mix it well. Maybe I could have mixed it a little bit better, but you know what? My errors help you. Once you've mixed all of your colors, put them to the side until you need them later. Now let's make our batter. We're going to be putting our butter into our stand mixer. Yes, you should utilize a stand mixer. However, if you don't have one, a hand mixer will do. You're going to be putting your butter along with your sugar. Place your mixture on medium to high speed and mix for approximately 6 to 7 minutes until your butter mixture is pale and fluffy. Break your eggs into a separate bowl and mix them well because we're going to be adding them to our butter sugar mixture in 6 stages. Place your batter mixture back on about medium speed and add your egg mixture in those 6 stages that we discussed prior. You want to incorporate your eggs after each of the additions. At this point, you should have a nice and silky batter, but it's not a cake yet because we need to add our flour. When you do this, place your mixture on very low because you don't want to end up covered in flour. Now, we're going to need to divide that batter into 6 equal portions. So grab your electric scale and weigh it out. In my case, I ended up with 2,698.8 grams of batter, which divided by 6 comes out to be 449.8 grams of batter per cake. Get those bowls that we set aside before and place your 449.8 grams of batter into each of the bowls. Now, granted, try not to make a big mess like I did. Nevertheless, my counter is clean, and guess what? That batter is going right into my bowl. Now that you have your batter divided evenly, you need to fold in your color milk very carefully as you don't want to lose all that lovely air that you've incorporated during your process of making your batter. Now that I have all of my batter folded in with the color, I'm going to get my cake pans together. So you get your 6 8-inch cake tins and you're going to either butter and flour them, or as I've done, I've utilized products such as Baker's Joy to coat them. What you're trying to do is you're trying to keep your cakes from sticking. Now, if you don't have 6 8-inch pans, you can divide the recipe by 3. Therefore, you don't have to go out and buy any more pans. However, you got to do the process 3 times. Place your batter into each of your prepared pans. If you have a small palette knife, that would be great. I didn't, so I utilized a spoon. Who said necessity is the mother of invention? Actually, it's a simplified version of what the philosopher Plato said in the Dialogue Republic. Now that all of my cake batter is in all my pans, it's time to bake them at 170 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes or until the skewer comes out clean. Don't worry if all of your cakes are not done at the same time. Just take them out as they are ready. While they are baking, let's make our buttercream frosting. Add your butter to your mixer and beat on high for approximately 5 minutes or until your butter is light and fluffy. Add your sifted powdered sugar in 2 batches, mixing well between each addition. To your milk, add your vanilla extract. Then on low speed, add your milk to your butter sugar mixture. Once it's incorporated, place your mixture on high and beat for approximately 2 minutes. The icing is ready. It's white, it's fluffy, so cover it with some plastic wrap until it's needed later. Now that the cakes are cool, let's trim, fill, and cover them with buttercream. First thing to do is to trim our cakes. They look fantastic, but the parts that have come into contact with the tins are a bit gray and discolored. Also, even though you have used the same amount of batter for each of the cakes, they're not going to be 100% level. So, using a cake leveler at notch 3, which is just under an inch high, we're going to level each cake. You can use a knife for this, but you need to make sure that when you do, you need to put the knife in nice and level. Using your cake leveler, gently shuffle it back and forth through the cake. Repeat this with all of your levels, and please note that I have the cakes on baking parchment as to not break the layers as they're being moved around. When you ultimately cut into your rainbow cake, you want it to be bright from end to end, so we're going to need to trim the sides. I have a 7-inch cake ring, so I place this on the cake, and with a sharp knife I carefully trim around the cake to get rid of the crust. It will leave you with a nice straight bright edge. Repeat this step for all of your remaining layers. Now that your cakes are level and trimmed, let's start decorating. Place your cake board on your turntable and place 1/3 of your buttercream into a separate bowl. And the reason for this is you don't want to get a bunch of crumbs in all of your buttercream. You're going to take a dollop of your buttercream, place it in the center of your board, and you're going to gently press your purple layer into that, utilizing your whole hand. Place some of your buttercream on top of your purple layer and create a crumb coat to lock in those crumbs. Next, we're going to take more buttercream and properly fill the top of that layer. Now that the purple layer is done, repeat this process with all other layers in the following order: blue, green, yellow, orange, and finally red. Now that it's filled, it's time to put on a crumb coat. Place some of the buttercream on really tightly to lock in those crumbs. You're going to do the top of the red layer, then the sides of the cake. At this stage, it does not need to be neat and tidy. You just need to make sure that the entire cake is covered. Place your cake into the refrigerator for 30 minutes to an hour. You want to make sure that it's nice and set. The cake has been in the refrigerator for an hour. Now it's time to cover it with our buttercream. I'm utilizing a straight palette knife and a cake scraper. Starting with the sides, put on a nice thick layer of buttercream, then ice the top. With your scraper, scrape off the excess from your cake so you get a nice smooth cake. I kept back some of the scraps from our cutoffs and crumbled them up in order to decorate the top of the cake. I add this to the outer perimeter of the cake. Now, here we have it. This is our rainbow cake and it looks fabulous. However, the test of a true rainbow cake is what lies within. So let's cut it and have a look. Look at that rainbow. It's so neat and clean inside. But you know what? It not only looks impressive, it tastes impressive as it's moist, fluffy, and delicious. Serve your exquisite creation. I'm the Tilted Crown Gourmet. Bon appetit. I would like to thank you for continuing to watch the Tilted Crown Gourmet. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because you know that helps to grow this channel because it helps the YouTube algorithm. So again, thank you for watching the Tilted Crown Gourmet.